start till 8. Testing. Okay, that seems like... Yeah, that's good. Alright, now it's almost like we're acting though. But...
We have...
Well... Do you know where we're going though?
Yeah, I'll give you directions. Do you think Edward Snowden was acting? I mean, remember the scene, the extended scene with him with the with his hair, quaffing his hair?
I guess that's kind of naturally to be expected. We don't really know if he was acting though, because you might just be acting because there's a camera on you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you have some tendency to worry about, or he's just trying to think of something to like get his mind off. Like I think he was living in the moment and just trying to.
Well, he knew he had to go outside, and he was doing his hair, like worrying about how his hair looked instead of trying to cover up like his identity.
I don't know if that. No, I thought he was trying to mess with his hair because he thought it would. And then he said it's the bottom of his face that was bothering him because it like there was no way for him to.
Well, why not wear a hat? Why not cover up everything? Why not wear a?
Because I think maybe it was that whole like, either I go all in or not. Like if I'm already giving in, maybe that's. I mean, if we're gonna be like psychologists, I would think that that's maybe what's going through his head. Like, okay, I'm gonna look the way I want to look. Who gives a fuck? But then you're not really gonna do that because he still put on contact and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him now, but I didn't know his girlfriend showed up, so that's good.
Well, at least he gets to live it looks like a nice little cabin in Russia.
Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty crazy. I mean, like, and there's no real reason. I mean, I think it was important that they revealed a lot of stuff. Too bad the people that should watch that movie probably won't.
True.
But there's a lot of information in there that's like, it's not what you think it is. It's not like, I like the explanation of the fair trial thing where I think it's not really fair. You don't even understand what we mean. Like it's not that we're gonna throw him in a jail cell. It's like he just can't win. Yeah,
it's already been set up that he would lose no matter what.
And to contrast that with
what was that thing with the World War II with the Rosenbergs or whatever that were traitors? They gave up information of some sort. I think they probably went into the Espionage Act too. They were murdered.
Yeah, I mean, you can throw anyone to an espionage. I don't think they would murder him, but although I would think he would prefer murder.
Well, the age of communication we have, I mean, can they murder him? I mean, without anybody knowing?
Oh no, I meant if he had a trial, they wouldn't. Oh, they were actually murdered and not.
No. I mean, they were
prosecuted.
They were prosecuted and killed.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say
legally.
Wow. Well, I think they went the best route, which was do you know where we're going?
Yeah, you take a left here, you're going right.
Okay.
You just already knew. Stay in the right lane.
Okay. Yeah, but I thought it was really well edited, well shot. I think it was really compelling material, and I don't know, it's just...
Yeah. It kind of made me think of A Most Wanted Man, but like a real version of it. Like, just the fact that there's so many different agencies involved with all this and all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I know a lot of the journalists. I knew about those events because I kind of vaguely read about stuff like that. I'm not massively into, but I, will watch interesting stuff that I know that I should kind of read. So I've read about the whole, like, all that stuff, but I feel bad that I haven't actually read those documents or the full articles. I've read a few of Glenn Greenwald's articles, or I've always heard summaries of, like, this is important. This is what the story's about, but I feel like I should really go back and read what's been revealed to get a better understanding, because once you see a visual image of what's going on, I think it really sinks in as to what could go wrong. And I think it's a very personal thing to attack that system, because you're really saying that as a human being, I know this system can be abused very badly.
Yeah.
Very, very badly. Like, and the retroactive thing that you mentioned earlier, that's very... like, that is actually the crux of it. If they were deleting the information, they might even have a better argument. That, like, we should have a discussion about, okay, in this, like, modern science, if we don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. And I'm willing to have that argument with a government official or a government if they weren't all full of shit. Right. You know what I mean? Like, they have one or two good arguments that we could have a real discussion about, but they throw those in there as curveballs, and they're like, well, how about this? But I'm like, yeah, what about the other things where it doesn't make any fucking sense, though?
Yeah.
They just want to deflect, but it's the keeping of data and all those sites, like these sites where you can just go back and character assassinate someone. That's what I'm worried about, because people are stupid, and that's the problem. It's easy to manipulate large groups of people by assassinating the character of someone. Like, people will forget every other thing they did because they happen to go see one picture at some point in their lives, accidentally clicking, let's say, even if it was legitimate, of a 17-year-old girl naked. Like, you know, it's done. Doesn't matter what else you did in your life, the American public is like, oh my God, it's never, like, they don't care about it.
True. But I mean, what do you do? Before, I thought, well, I'm not doing any terrorist activities. I don't know anybody anywhere linked to
my parents probably talked to somebody in Pakistan, so you definitely are getting spied on.
So yeah,
you're
by
connected.
association, I'm being watched. But unless I do something about it, will they actually take action? That's how I used to feel. You know,
the thing is, the idea is to not. The status quo wants there to be the status quo. That is the whole point. Fine, you're not doing anything wrong. Just don't do anything wrong, or anything we deem wrong at some point.
Correct.
Don't agitate. Don't change this. And don't like. And I'm not some like diehard like, oh, gotta go into the streets and like, you know, sit and burn myself.
You know, slide that thing over. There's a mirror in there. Push it down more. I don't know if I can see myself in here.
I can adjust this.
I can't see. Oh well. Whatever.
Well, you can try to. Oh yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But I mean, and I'm not somebody who even would go out of my way, because I don't think that's how I could contribute. I would, but you know, if we were to make political statements, it would be via film.
Right.
A story, maybe. It wouldn't even be literal. It would try to make that point in a more, I guess, fictional.
Yeah. Some kind of narrative thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, when you have that much pressure on you at that point, where as far as Snowden went, there's no going back.
Am I going straight?
Yeah, you can go straight here.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like one of those things where I'm not a computer person. I wish I was. Like, I mean, it's like, what do we do besides just bring light to it and hope somehow it, like, who do you vote for? Like, I mean, that's the other thing. Like, no one's going to get chosen. We already have a system where you need a shit ton of money if you're going to win. That means you already are, like, corrupted that way. So you already have people you're listening to. And then those people don't want the system to change. They probably only care about the fact, like, don't spy on me. Yeah. But, you know, I think it's like 100 people we have in this country that have so much power. Like, forget the politicians. There's 100 people that have like a bazillion. Like, they have so much wealth, more than like other countries.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can do about any of this stuff. I feel really helpless, kind of.
Well, I mean, I think just bringing it to light would make a difference, because politicians are still, like, if there's enough of a thing where somebody thinks they can win by, like, it's almost like you have to go to people's darker impulses to make them do good things, but then in a way that's their argument probably. I don't know, like, that's almost scary that like the large majority of society, you hope that the majority is on the right side, but a lot of times they just have to be manipulated, and that's fucked up. Right.
Well, I mean, but how can the government keep tabs on things if we are really trying to cover ourselves and, you know, make sure that we're safe, you know, whatever that even means anymore?
I just don't find that idea to be like valid at all, because it. But see, now when you're talking about Everton, when I'm being filmed, I want to fix things that I'm insecure about. So maybe he's insecure about his hair, or like insecure, like things that you're like, I want to look good. Right. So I think that's all he was doing. I mean, he's just being filmed. And true. She was probably directing him too, and she's like, just be yourself. Just, you know, I'm just gonna film you.
But she obviously wanted that to be in there as a possibility of saying, well, I think she was making a statement about that, you know, about narcissism of some sort, you know, like how much of it is, how much attention does a person like that want? Like, I wouldn't want a lot of attention, but he's prepping himself. And
I mean, that's interesting. I didn't get that. Maybe I'm too narcissistic. Maybe I was like, oh, that seems totally normal, because maybe I'm the narcissist. I don't know. I just thought that was like him being human. It's like when you have a camera on you and you're in a room and like you're just there's so much pressure that you're gonna just be acting.
Right. Where do you get all those clothes and everything?
He probably brought them with him.
But he had like some clothes that were like from China or something.
I'm sure he bought some, yeah. I mean, but when he got there, before he revealed everything, and I like the weird, ominous like sense of this paranoia, but it was like somewhat like in this case, it was legitimate. You know, like if you're a paranoid like person and you enjoy being paranoid, a movie like that should be you're just. Oh man, this movie's great. I feel so fucking stressed out. This is awesome.
Like with the fire alarm going off, that part, like with the, you know, just the paranoid things that he must go through every day. Yeah, keep going straight.
Oh yeah, and then kind of.
Bill, what are your thoughts on CitizenFour? What do you think about it, or like what are you expecting from it? Maybe.
I actually haven't looked at any trailers for it, and I only saw one review headline on one site I look at, and they gave it 2 stars out of 4. But from what I gather,
what site is this?
Mark Reviews Movies.
Yeah, is he a conservative or something? Because I don't know how you would give that documentary a 2 out of 4.
He's actually a neo-Marxist. I saw it's made like a lot of lists of best documentaries of the year, including the National Board Review, which came out today.
I think it's just worth watching, even if you don't like politics. It's a good way to just know something important.
Cool.
Yeah, and you really get to see the whole thing unfold as it did, you know, when it was released.
And it's shockingly, I mean, it's a documentary, and yet she had what she could work with because they had limited places to shoot Snowden, so it's a hotel room. But
oh right, so it's like I don't know much about it at all.
It's got a nice sense of like.
So he's the subject
tone,
the entire time. Like
no, they actually do a really good job.
Or the reporters that are putting it out.
Well, Glenn Greenwald, Jeremy Scahill's in a moment. He almost feels like a cameo when he showed up because he's like a rock star journalist. But so is Glenn Greenwald and stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of people that are, you know, they had to kind of almost make a pact. It's not literally stated, but it was implied. Like these people know each other. They all know what they were getting into once they revealed the story. Yeah, like they're all going to be, everything they do is probably monitored. It's definitely not probably. It is monitored.
The National Board Review came out today with their awards, which I like them a lot. For a long time, they were the first ones before they kind of kicked off the Oscar race for a long time before these critics awards became bigger. But they voted a Most Violent Year as the best film.
Yeah, the trailer. Yeah, I noticed it got really good reviews, and I was like, what the fuck is?
I kind of want to see that.
I never heard. I mean, I know that.
Is that the one with Jessica Chastain?
Yeah,
and the other guy that was
Oscar Isaac. Yeah,
from Coen Brothers.
Yeah, inside Llewyn Davis. Yeah, I don't know.
I heard really good things about that too.
Yeah, I'm glad it's good. Yeah. We need more movies. There seems like to be, aside from Inherent Vice.
Yeah, well, Inherent Vice won an adapted screenplay, which I've heard the story is the worst part of the movie, so that's kind of interesting.
I think I haven't read any or what is it, Thomas?
I've heard Inherent Vice doesn't make any sense like at all.
Because I think his novels, like if you read the plot though,
but it's like about a stoner.
It's better to look at those movies like a Big Lebowski film. Like it's not supposed to make sense, but even the actual detective novels never made sense. The Big Sleep.
Yeah, The Big Sleep. I know. Yeah,
it's all over the. It's like
it doesn't make any sense. You're right.
It's like going down a rabbit hole. That's kind of what those movies are about. Like you start from this one investigation and you just go. It goes out of control. Like where you end up.
I heard though that like it's his most it's not static film, or what? It doesn't move very much. The camera, there's very little camera movement, like for most of the film. I don't know.
I wonder that maybe due to the improvisation by the actors.
Yeah.
So that
I've heard
he
it's pretty
had
funny,
to
though,
choose the shots that had the best jokes or the best performance comedic wise. But I hope that's not completely
Austin?
the case. There's got to at least be one or two like really good shots.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have not have called Austin. Okay, sorry, Amir. I was looking for Austin. I'll call him. My bad.
Thank you.
Oh, fuck you. That was Austin. What an asshole.
Or that wasn't. That would be
He's
real.
like, this isn't me. Like, I said you
I
were
was just being nice. He's like, well, now the NSA is after you because
Yeah. It does smell like weed.
it smells like freedom.
Freedom.